How are y'all doing this afternoon? I am Mike Burns. I'll be serving as your moderator here tonight. And at this time, we will call the meeting to order. So we are now officially in session. Brother Ken Johnston, you will see he's next on the program for tonight. Unfortunately, he is ill, and he will not be able to be with us this afternoon. And so we're going to continue going on. I want to fill in for him. And at this time, we need to do the organization of the 151st annual fall meeting. And at this time, can I get a motion that we organize the 151st annual fall meeting? Joe Elliott so moves. Can I get a second? Scott Kennedy will give us our second. Are there any questions? If you're in favor of the organization of the 151st annual fall meeting, would you signify by saying aye? Aye. Any opposed by like sign? There are none, so we are in organization. At this time, I want to turn your attention to page 1 and 2 of your book of reports. This is the list of the 2021-2022 messengers that will be elected. There are some that are not in print that are here tonight. So I just want you to be aware of that. So we need to get a motion to accept the messengers that are printed and the others that are present with us here tonight. Can I get a motion to accept the messengers? Back there, Brother Trent Bilbo, do I get a second? Okay, we got a second. Can I get a name, please? Glenn, okay, Glenn, I'm sorry, I can't see that far. Mr. Pastor Glenn Burton, are there any questions on the election of the messengers? Okay, if you're in favor of electing the messengers as printed and those who are present with us that have been added tonight, would you signify by saying aye? Aye. Any opposed by like sign? There are none, so all of the messengers have been elected at this point in time. I would now like to appoint your attention to page 3 of your book of reports. These are the 2021-2022 Executive Board representatives. These are elected by the local body, each local body that represents those. And so we do need a motion to accept these as printed. So moved, Brother Netterville here. Do I get a second? Second, there we go, Brother Argel. We appreciate that. Is there any questions? All right, if you're in favor of accepting the executive board representatives from there, we signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed by like sign? There are none. At this time, I would like to call Ms. Connie Taylor to give our financial report. You don't have to come down here if you can talk loud enough. All right, and this does come from her and the Finance Committee, correct? Or just from you? Just from you. So we do have to have a second on this. Do we get a second to the motion of accepting the financial report that is printed on pages, 6, 7, and 8 of your book of reports? 9. You got a second? I see a bunch of hands flying. So we got a second. Are there any questions on the financial report as printed on 6, 7, 8, and 9 of your book of reports? Ms. Connie's itching to answer all your questions. There are none. So if you're in favor of accepting the report as printed, would you signify by saying aye? Aye. Any opposed by like sign? There are none. At this time, I will call Brother Steve Clark to come up and give our program report.
Well, our program report is put together by our administrative team. They plan out each year, and then at this time, every other year we have a guest speaker from out of the area, and then the other year we'll have someone as a local pastor, and we just wanted to let you know that next year we have a little combination. Connor Alford has been asked to serve as our guest speaker for 2022. He is from the Progress community. He graduated from Park Lane, then later on went to college at Southwest. Then after that went to Mississippi State and then New Orleans Seminary, and now he's working on his doctorate degree in pastoring at McLaurin Heights Baptist Church in Pearl. Hollis Alford is his grandfather, Howard is his dad, and so it'll be a great honor for us to be able to get Connor here. He's looking forward to being a part of the Associational annual meeting. He was one of the youth that grew up in our area, and God is using him in kingdom work. But our program report is on page 12. Our next worship time and annual meeting for the 152nd annual fall meeting will be Sunday, October 16th. First Baptist Church Macomb is offered to host it. Our business session again begins at 6. Evening worship at 6:30, and we'd love to be able to have as many representatives as we could, and as a way to say we appreciate what God is doing in Connor's life, and I know he's looking forward to sharing. It comes from the administrative committee.
All right, this report does come from the administrative committee, so we do not need any seconds, but we do need to vote on this. Are there any questions on the 2021 program report that Brother Steve can field for us? If not, if you're in favor of the program, of accepting the program report, would you signify by saying aye? Any opposed by like sign? There are none. All right, Brother Steve, we appreciate that. At this time, we will entertain any miscellaneous business that you may need to bring before the body here tonight. Does there anybody have any miscellaneous business? Going once, going twice. All right, then at this time, I will call Brother Steve to come back up here to the platform to recognize our new pastor, staff, and any anniversaries, and then I'll just go ahead and tell you, go ahead and do your associational highlights right after that.
All right. Thankful each year when we have existing pastors to stick around and new pastors to come and join us. And this year we have three new pastors we'd like to introduce to you. Gary Havilland from East Union Baptist Church. Gary is back here in the back, and he is originally from this area, went to North Pike, and then served at First Baptist West Point as their youth minister. Now here is pastor at East Union, so welcome back home now. And then Darrell Bone from Holmesville Baptist Church. Darrell is a bivocational pastor. He does have a home up in the Rankin area, but he comes in on weekends and stays in a parsonage there at Holmesville, and they're taking care of him during the weekends. And at the same time, if you get a chance to meet Darrell, welcome him to the area. And then also Tom Gonzalez, who is not new to our area, but he is our newest pastor, and he is currently serving at North Macomb Baptist Church. So Tom, if you want... There he is on the front and the right here, of my right. So thank you, Tom, and I know he's had a chance to get to know the Pike County community as a Christian counselor and doing a great job as a friend to pastors. If anybody, church staff or pastor, needs someone to talk with or a resource, I know he's one of our folks that we like to encourage. A lot of counseling is needed in some of our churches today, and pastors can be bombarded with getting everything ready for Sunday, but pastoral ministry and counseling, it's a good thing to have good resources around us. So thank you, Tom. Now we have some who are celebrating anniversaries of being here for a while, and we have for 15 years, we're recognizing Mike Morris from Tangipahoa Baptist Church. Brother Mike is over here, and thank you, Brother Mike. Brother Mike began in October of 2006, so we appreciate him and his work there at Tangipahoa. And then Larry LeBlanc at First Baptist Church Summit. And I know Larry may or not, I don't know if he's coming for the worship time or not, but we just want to say he stuck around from January 2006 to where he is today, and at First Baptist Church Summit, and appreciate that church for loving on him, taking care of him, and then also all the staff people. We want to make sure we don't miss anybody. So anybody who is on a church staff role that's been serving at least 5 years on if you're celebrating your 5th year, 10th year, 15th year, going once, going twice. Do we have anybody in their 20th year? Oh, we celebrated Brother Joe actually last year. He celebrated 25 years we recognized him last year. We can recognize him again. Which we knew that he had been here alongside of Brother Rick Kennedy for all those years, and it's good to have that tenure. I know it's not easy, but when you're able to have a position in a church a period of time, it means that church has done something to love them, to take care of them, and they develop relationships. Now that they've seen kids who grew up in the youth ministry in college and graduate now are having kids themselves, so they guarantee some of these kids as a minister in a way while they're here, but also see the fruits. So thank you, Joe. And anybody else? 5, 10, 15, 20, or 25 or more? Okay, don't want to miss anybody. How about any new church staff? Anybody that's on a new church staff role? Music minister, youth minister, children's minister, preschool, any other position they want to name it? Nobody else? Just want to make sure we didn't miss anybody. That has happened before. We don't always get the memo when someone's brand new coming in, but we don't want you to think we don't miss you, and we want to say thank you for coming and being part of this family. It is a family of churches. We're working together to serve the Lord here in Pike County. And we also just want to encourage you to come alongside your pastors in October. Sometimes they get a chance to be appreciated all through the year, but at least in the month of October, do something to say we appreciate what you do. Now, in addition to our association, next few pages, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27, that's part of my AMD report each year. I'll put together an annual report summarizing some things that the hurricane did some damage out there. West Macomb Baptist Church did a great job to help clean up some. I do know that we also have volunteers that come in that I may not know about. So if you go by there and you see the chapel, I'll pop in there about once a month to make sure we have tracts and Bibles and hymn books and no limbs are laying down on the ground blocking the people from walking in. But occasionally that happens, and occasionally people might come in as campers to do something, and we've had that to happen where some kids did some things and we cleaned it up. But we also want you to know that chapel is a ministry that we help alongside of Percy Quinn with. We've had weddings out there. We have people calling, scheduling weekend weddings. It's one of those things that it belongs to the park, but it also is part of our ministry as we partner with the park. And they've been gracious to let us use it really anytime we need it. But every Sunday from March through December, we'd love to have a pastor and a church to kind of adopt a month. Now, the pastor may not be the one preaching. It may be that he'll send a deacon or a Sunday school teacher or a youth minister, someone who has a heart for teaching the Bible. But each month, we'd like to see that covered. And we still have a month of November and the month of December still available. It's one of those things that people may assume it's being covered. In our newsletter, we'll update you. On our Facebook page, we try to update you on things, and I'm not sure who gets that, who reads that, but we don't want you to miss that every month. So if you are interested, tonight even, feel free to mention it to myself, my wife, Patty on the front row here, or my ministry assistant on the second row here. And we appreciate the fact that churches are seeing ways to be on mission in Pike County through the park. Campers come out there, and if you get a chance to read the diary, the little book inside there, I know some of you may have had a chance to do that, and there are people that go out there that are depressed, distressed, discouraged, and there's one that just basically said, I was contemplating suicide. I came out, and there was a ministry that, they didn't know anything about the park, but that much about the park ministry, but they were here at the park trying to unwind, and they had a chance to go to the chapel. And every day during the week, it's open for prayer. Every Sunday from 9 to 9:30, it's available for worship, where a church group comes in. And so thank y'all for what you do, and I know he wrote that as well. Our prison ministry has been kind of a little bit different. We have not been able to go in like we normally have done. Like when the sheriff Brumfield came on, he saw that there were people that were calling themselves Christians or churches that were not, and not from on our side, but there are other denominations that do ministry at the prison. Some of them did it on Thursday, some of them did it on Friday. It's a thing where we weren't sure of the days. And when Sheriff James Brumfield came on, he asked us to see what we can